Good morning, friends. In my series on the digital tools which are available for the content analysis, or you can say further quantification that you would like to do for the text analysis, there had been, as I repeated myself, again I'm repeating it, that yes, you have got the online tools coming in from various corners, and one we have seen in my last video, which was the introduction to HTRC analytics, right, with the Happy Trust Research Center. Now how can I forget Google? So you can see here that Google Books Ngram Viewer, which is really an important one, and some of us who are keen to know the number of books which are available, one should not forget that Google Books is also a place where each one of us should keep visiting on a daily basis. Either it is available on online platform to read it, the book is available for you, or you can download it also, some of them, or in sometimes I find that they even sell the book so that you can purchase them and possess those books also. So here in this particular video walk of mine, I would be going through the Google Books Ngram Viewer, how to use it, and in what manner. It will not be done in one go. I'll be showcasing it little bit one after the other. However, the Google page was the most important one, and I was able to get the introduction to Google Ngram Viewer through Wikipedia page itself. Now here you will see that Google Ngram. Now you see, if you know a little bit of machine language or Python, or I would say neural networks also, you will find that Ngrams is one of the word that has been used exclusively for the textual analysis. So if I'm talking about content analysis, then it has to be associated and related to textual analysis. From there, I have to come over to these websites also, so that the initial text analysis that is required via these cloud servers can also be utilized for your own research purposes also. So here they're telling you that Google Books Ngram Viewer is an online search that you have got, that charts the frequencies of any set of search strings using yearly count of ngrams found in sources between 1500 and 2019. Now let me very quickly grab in this particular paper so that I can show it to you as to how to go ahead and understand them. And here you will find that yes, these things are available for us, and it's a very interesting thing that you are able to know more about them. So let me take you through very quickly these particular things, so that we are able to understand what exactly is Google Ngram and how to understand them. So here, that's number one, and these are the text corpora which is available exclusively in the languages of English, Chinese, French, German, Hebrew. Then I have got Italian, Russian and Spanish, the most popular languages. However, they have missed out with Greek. I do not know why, and anyway, that's not my concern. However, they have got the PDFs are available in these particular languages. There are also some specialized English corpora which is available in American English, British English and English fiction. Now if you are from the literature background, you would understand what are the differences between these three things, corpora, that they are talking about. The program search for a word can be taken care, or the phrase misspellings and gibberish, for sometimes it's just a baby talks, ba ba ba, we don't understand what the baby is trying to tell us. However, if you there are certain words even in English we do not understand, however it is still present in our English. The ngrams, it's like a weight, are matched with the text with the selected corpus, optionally using case sensitive spelling, and then we carry forward. Then if found in 40 or or more wicks, then it is displayed as a graph. Now this is the most important thing that we need to understand and remember, that yes, Google is trying to make us understand that yes, while you are reading, observe to it that the minimum limit that you have to give it is basically for the I would say the 40 books that they are talking about, and then they can be carried forward to be displayed as a graph only. So the Google Ngram viewer supports searches for parts of speech and wildcards. Now you see, if you are trained into Montessori school education, or if you come from the Department of Education, you will understand what is the importance of the flashcards or view card or the wildcards which are available. These are different kinds of things. So thanks to Google that they are giving so much of importance, and if you go through their website wherein they are giving various training platforms to educate the others who are present in the immediate community, you will understand that they focus more on the wildcards also, and they are being used rigorously in the research. So the quotes are also there, which I'm not going to read it. You can read all by yourself. History is there, operation, restriction. Then you will see that later on, this is the advanced form of the textual analysis, which again I take it during my workshop. So maybe I will go ahead and introduce how to go ahead and try to understand what are the basic ones, like total counts which are there: 1 grams, 2 grams, 3 grams, 4 grams. All these things are available, and we will understand as to how to perform. And that's why this various things which I'm seeing in the digital format are being given to you towards their I would say in the form of the basic ones. I mean, what I want to say is that they are being separated from the rest of the videos of mine, and I thought let me put it separately, wherein I can take up whenever I feel like and introduce let's say analysis through Google Ngram, or how to understand Google Ngram viewer itself also side by side. Now similarly, if you go ahead further, they discuss a lot. Now can you see they have done Ngram for Wikipedia, which started off in 1904. So you are able to understand that yes, this is the one that we have got out here, and how they are planning to come up with the match count and the volume count also, which is there. Now they have done this, and this is the result that they have got for the entire sheet, I would say. Now similarly, if you go to the other part, you would be able to understand that yes, there are certain things which we can go ahead and we are able to come up with this kind of a thing, and you can plot your own Google Ngram, which is more or less in this format. For example, I was trying to find out the books which are being written by Albert Einstein, Sherlock Holmes and Frankenstein. Now when I saw this particular thing, because this is basically coming from let's say year 1800 to 2019, I can go ahead, I can extract the data and just see the percentages, how they have documented. They are in decimals, and then they are giving you the percentage years starting off from 1800, 1820, then 1840. Then you can carry forward, and you can see as to how the graph is working for Frankenstein or Sherlock Holmes, or let's say for Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein, you can see that yes, it was growing, and then suddenly the downfall is there. I don't know if he was alive, what could have been right now. Similarly for Sherlock Holmes, if you look at the graph from 1800 to 1880, it is lying equal to x-axis, and slowly it started growing, and now we see that it has reached to the highest peak. Similarly for Frankenstein also. So what I wanted to tell you is that these kind of tools are also available. Please go ahead and have a look at them, and you can use them for your own I would say purposes. Now, Jeremy Norman's website is there, historyofinformation.com. Here he has introduced Google Books Ngram Viewer. It is a phrase usage graphing tool developed by John Orwant and Will Brockman of Google that charts the yearly count. So it is not monthly count, it is yearly count of the selected n-grams, that is the contiguous sequences of n items from a given. I mean, this is something, if you know textual analysis, you will be able to proceed further and try to know that yes, this is there, and this is present in their Google Ngram word search database also. Now you see, the world of technology is growing so much that they have built up their own database wherein you can search for the word, whether that word exists and what is the frequency, what is the count, what is the percentage. You can do that basic descriptives for the word that is available for you. The words or phrases or n-grams are matched by so and so, and these particular things have been given. So I have taken you through the Google page also, and you can have a look at it, how they are talking about for the OCRs. Now I haven't yet showcased to you the OCR analysis. I mean, in Python it is done very easily. Same goes with R also. If you know a little bit, you can definitely go ahead and you can do a lot of it. Now I don't know why the data has been criticized in reliance upon the inaccurate OCR. However, when we are doing it in R or Python, we do not get any inaccuracies. We are able to do, I don't know how, the optical character recognition issues are coming in with Google Ngram. I'll have to detailedly I have to look into it also. So this is a small introduction that I wanted to showcase to each one of you with reference to the Google Books Ngram Viewer. So kindly use them for your own purposes and try to see. Now for example, if I have to let's say I want to take away this one and I have my own data. Let's say I'm working on these three particular authors from my own domain, and I don't want to see let's say not 2019, let me make it little bit less, 1975, okay, and I'm saying apply it. So it will go ahead and you will see it will take few minutes, and you will get the details. Griffiths, what was the Griffith is one of the writers. Actually I was trying to analyze through the textual analysis for the Nasadiya Suktas. I hope you all understand that from Rig Veda, one of the important meter over there is basically the Nasadiya Sukta, and I had seen that there are 10 exact translations and I wanted to do it. Now out of the 10, these are the three most popular ones, that is Raimundo Panica, Vivekanand and Griffiths, and so I wanted to find out as to how the things are coming in. So this gave me the accurate thing out here, which you can see 1800, because Griffiths translations were also very important for the Vedas and the other texts which I really wanted to find out, and I checked it out with this one. Okay, now if you want, you can change, let's say I don't see the other languages which are present like Sanskrit, Prakrit. I have already mentioned to Google that you are talking about English, American English, British English, English fiction, Chinese. What about Sanskrit? Now Sanskrit is such an old language, they should start incorporating those texts also. So there is that particular project which I mean I should have taken, I have taken up, and I'm working on that basically, and then we will have to understand as to how those things would be taken care of. Similarly, if you look at Prakrit language, how it is working out. Now there is so much of literature. Now that's what I told you, if you know your literature very well, you can carry forward. Now similarly, let's say from the marketing department, we know Philip Kotler. Now he is the one person that I'm very much interested in. I don't like, now Kotler's books you can see started off from 1960 and from here. Now if I do little bit of search and I find it out, okay, show me the list of books on marketing. let's suppose I want to take it up. Now here I have got one book by this Jonah Chip, Donald Mill. No, I'm not looking for all these people. I mean, these are all the ones who have done the work on the marketing side of it, so one can look up. I'm looking for the real textbooks of marketing. Let's say I'm not interested in this, I'm more interested in marketing. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if the changes are there. I still find them to be okay. Here they have given you 10 topmost marketing books. Let's have a look at it and see what they are trying to tell us. And okay, Martin, no, I'm not interested. Joe Pulizzi, let's have a look at it and see if this thing is available. This is Joe Pulizzi. I hope my spelling is right. Pulizzi. Okay, there is a single L. So here we go, and let's see what. Now you keep on adding one after the other. So Joe Pulizzi's, you can have a look because I have taken from 1800. I'm not interested. So let's do it from 1960 onwards. Okay, so this will be 1960. I can apply and see if these things are available or not. So even Joe Pulizzi's, you cannot see much of this one. So forget about Joe Pulizzi. I'm not interested. Textbooks. Let's make it as marketing textbooks. Okay, here we go. So I have got Jack Trott, Donald Mill, David Herman, Olivier, Emmanuel, Joe is also there. Okay, we can even add Jack Trout. Here we go. Here, and I have got Jack Trout. Okay, and let's see now. Let's enter. Now, can you see the differences are coming in between Jack Trott and Philip Kotler? You are able to find out. Similarly, let's pick up with digital person. This is Oliver. What? Olivier. Okay, this is Olivier Blanchard. So let's go ahead now, comma. Olivia. Now, why I'm showcasing to you is that you can keep on adding and you can see how the things are coming in for yourself. Now, this becomes very important. So, should I give importance to Philip Kotler, Jack Trout, Oliver Blanchard, and or Joe Pulizzi? Now, it's totally differs. Now, if you want to add some more, please go ahead and I don't know. They ask, you answer. Okay. No, I want to go ahead with social media because right now you have got a lot of importance coming to social media. Let's add these two people also side by side. Here I go. I have added and okay, I don't want 4 and here we go. Now it will give me. Okay, it hasn't. So let me add because I added. Oh, I haven't taken for. Okay, let me take away and let's see. Okay, so I will just take away one more and maybe you can just look up and